How wonderful! I was just talking to Madesi about having them set in a necklace. Now, let's see. What was it you wanted again? The story begins when I was hired to play at a banquet for this rich old doddering noble, who was known to throw quite the party. This time, the event was centered around this stud of a companion who'd been hired to retrieve some heirloom or other. Obviously, he'd succeeded in the task, so the whole evening was meant to be a thank you and a celebration of his success. You're not wrong there. He was positively preening, had the entire gathering eating out of the palm of his hand, some of them quite literally. Oh, sugar. I never said that I was the cause of his troubles. That honor rests with someone else entirely. You've clearly not had much business with bards, if you didn't realize we're unable to pass up telling every story with a flourish. If you want to hear more of this epic saga, I have another favor I could use your help with. The name is Karasif, not Shirley Sugar. And while my comedic timing is always spot on, I save my jokes for working the crowds. This is my serious face. It only comes out when I'm talking business. Oh, you see, I'm a walking tragedy. I'm a bard without a lute, which makes me not much of a bard at the moment. Well, I told you about the bears. While trying to escape them, I saw what I thought might be a safe place to hide. Plot twist, it was most decidedly the opposite of safe. In fact, I jumped, quite literally, out of the bear's jaws and into the bandit's claws.
Is it normal to carry and collect all this stuff? I'm not even sure what
Precisely.
half of it would be used for.
I need you to retrieve it from that nasty place before something or someone finds it, takes it, or worse, breaks it. Here, let me mark it on your map. I'll wait here. Please hurry and return my Petunia to me. That's her name, you see. Because every bard worth their strings names their lute.
Oh, that must be Petunia. Think I'd like to return it to the bard if you don't mind and learn a bit more about Vilkas.
I'd rather fight bandits than frog.
I miss her so much.
Excuse me, Karasif. I found your loot. Petunia, here you are. Safe and sound.
Oh, my sweet Petunia. You found her and in one piece, even. Thank you, Sugar. Well, a deal is a deal, which means it's time to tell you a story. So, that noble wasn't the only one who wished to thank Vilkas for retrieving the family heirloom. Turns out his niece wanted to thank Vilkas very personally and repeatedly in her private rooms.
Well, that sounds like Vilkas, but I'm not understanding the problem with her. Thanking him, if you know what I mean.
Well, it wasn't the thanking that was the problem.
It's nice to be back.
Oh, it wasn't? Then what was?
Well, if I had to wager a guess, I'd say it was probably his host finding out about said thanking, and deciding he'd challenge Vilkas to a duel. A duel to the death.
Well, shit. You know, I can't help noticing I've not yet heard how it was that you came into the story.
I happened to pass by the room where they'd been, talking. The lady was upset because her uncle was very old and too feeble from gout to fight. Vilkas had no interest in fighting the man either. I heard him say there was no honor in
pissed about
fighting
how
an
I
old
won
man
last
for
time.
defending
Full
his
castle,
lord.
dragons
The
over
lady
trolls.
said if Vilkas
Teach him
could
to go
stay
all
out
in
of
with
her
a shitty
uncle's
pair
sight
of
for the
mages.
night, the man would forget it all in the morning. As he always did.
I have to admit, it sounds like Vilkas is not wanting to be fighting a man when he knew it would not be a fair one. What happened next?
She glanced up and saw me, then called me in just as Vilkas was hurrying back into his pants. He's got quite the cute bottom. Anyway, the lady recognized me as being hired to entertain that night. Since I wasn't part of her uncle's household, she asked if I would help Vilkas escape.
That's, wow. A bit more detail than I needed there. Ooh. I take it you agreed to help them then?
She gave me a few of the baubles she was wearing as payment, in exchange for my services, and I agreed to help. Much like you've helped me.
And yet, I don't understand why you helping Vilkas sneak out seems embarrassing to him. I would have thought he'd been glad to see you again.
It's not the sneaking out that's embarrassing. It's the way I chose to do it that I'm relatively sure he had hoped would never be told. However, if you want that story...
Fucking hell. Seriously? How many more times are we doing this?
I swear on my precious Petunia, this is the last time. It's a big favor, though, but that feels fair, given the epic conclusion that's coming.
Fine. So come on then, spit it out. What you want now, eh? What's this last final and better not be more after this fucking job, eh?
It turns out the Bee and Barb has no need for a permanent bard, but I heard there's another tavern in the city that might. The Ragged Flagon. I want help securing a position as a bard there.
You weren't kidding about that comedic timing. Hang on. You serious?
Yes, this is my serious face. Talk to Brynjolf and tell him I want him to clear a chair for me there. He should understand what that means.
You want me to ask fucking Gobshite, Brynjolf, to help you get a job as a bard in the Flagon?
Precisely. It's likely he'll require a toll of some sort, because that cocky thief never does anything for free, not even for an old friend. But I have no money, and with my injury, no ability to do any task he'd require to earn his intervention. And nothing happens in the Flagon without his knowing and allowing it to happen.
Fuck me up and down and then back again. I swear this story of yours better be worth it in the end.
Oh, it is. And if you help smooth my way to finding a permanent roof over my head, I'll tell you the rest of it in all its glorious detail. Cross my heart, sugar. Go along now. I'll wait here while you talk to Brynjolf.